What's going on, football fans? It's John Kuzma from EndZoneBlog.com, and we have so much to talk about. There was so much action this past weekend in terms of trades and roster moves. But I actually want to talk about Shady McCoy, LeSean McCoy, in this video. He had a pretty chaotic day Saturday. He was released from the Buffalo Bills and then signed to the Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo got rid of him because he had a $9 million cap hit, and they just felt like it was the right time to move on from McCoy after, drafting Devin Singletary and Adam Frank Gore and TJ Yeldon and some of the other guys they have there in Buffalo. So LeSean McCoy, he's a free agent after being released, and he ultimately decided to go back with his old coach, Andy Reid, who coached him in Philadelphia. And that makes sense because LeSean McCoy, he was released just before the season started, so he's not going to have much time to learn the playbook or anything like that. But by going to Andy Reid's system, he actually is in an offense that he's played in before, so he knows most of the terminology, he knows most of the plays, and that's going to allow McCoy a chance to hit the ground running with the Chiefs. And just because Buffalo released him doesn't mean he's a bad football player. This guy is still an elite athlete, and he still can make people miss in the open field. I think, for whatever they paid for him, I think it was like $3 million. The Chiefs are getting a really good football player. And you have to remember, they lost a step when Kareem Hunt was released last year. Shady McCoy is good enough to fill those shoes. And I know they have Damian Williams there, but I think LeSean McCoy will probably end up taking the majority of the touches. And, in terms of his production waning and things like that, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I actually think he turns back the clock a little bit and lights it up with the Kansas City Chiefs. We're not seeing LeSean McCoy ride off into the sunset. We're seeing a guy that is going to come in here and set the tone for this team. And, Patrick Mahomes creates a lot of natural running lanes underneath because the defense is so focused about defending the big play deep. So the linebackers had to play off a little bit. The secondary has to play off a little bit. They're just so worried about a receiver going over top of them. And there's a lot of daylight on the ground for LeSean McCoy to take advantage of, and I think he will. And to me, this just proves even more that the Kansas City Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. I just like the direction this team's heading. I like all the moves they made. And this is just the cherry on top of everything. LeSean McCoy, you couldn't have asked for a better addition right before week one. And now the Kansas City Chiefs are in the driver's seat. I think they're going to shock a lot of people. And don't be surprised if Andy Reid wins his first Vince Lombardi trophy. I'm John Kuzma. Check out EndZoneBlog.com.